Crash, 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 Bandicoot. God, I just realized how, like, how bright it was in here. Alright. How's everybody doing? We're gonna be crashing our Banookas. In here. So let's turn off the music. Put on the lights.
Strikes back.
Indeed. Alright. New game, new game. Crystals, of course. I'll talk about that in a minute, Nationverse. Because I have some thoughts.
Of course.
No.
But Dr. Cortex, to reach full power, we need not only your master crystal, but also the remaining 25 slave crystals from the surface. How do you expect to retrieve them when we don't have any Earthbound operatives left?
You fool! Do you think I'm unaware of the
situation?
If we don't have any friends left on the surface, then we need to
Find an enemy.
Crash! My battery is fried. Make yourself useful, big brother, and bring an extra battery for me.
Oh, I don't feel like Alright. Yeah, I know that right now a lot of people are saying that it's going to come out on Friday, next Friday, because of it being a part of a cup, but I think it might be coming sooner than that, in my opinion, because Shadow came out before they did the Shadow Cup. They did the Shadow Cup yesterday. So I'm thinking Crash could potentially come out on Wednesday, because Lara Croft is leaving the shop on Wednesday. And if not Wednesday, definitely Thursday. But that is my guesstimate for when Crash and Spyro are going to be in the shop. Because I know there's a lot of talk of there being an Aku Aku sidekick. But I'm going to be honest. I've been following the Fortnite leaks for a while. I know how this stuff works. I don't think Aku Aku is a sidekick. I think he's a back bling. I know it's being reported that he's a sidekick, but it just doesn't really make sense to me for him to be a sidekick, considering how sidekicks are portrayed.
Well. If it isn't Crash Bandicoot, welcome. I apologize for the crude means used to bring you here, but I rather expect a written invitation would have been turned down.
Usually drop a day after the cup day. That's so weird, considering Shadow came out before his cup.
Through each door lies a well-hidden crystal. The crystals look like...
I'm still gonna hold on to the copium that it'll happen before.
That is all.
I don't want to wait an entire week.
We will speak again.
But yeah, no, I don't think Aku Aku is a sidekick. I think he's a back bling, because the criteria for sidekicks are they are typically on the ground. So I just think it would be a little weird considering that they don't do a lot of variants for sidekicks. I'm going in with the idea that Spyro is the sidekick that goes with Crash in the bundle. Thank you for the 5 Scooby snacks. I'll go back through Turtle Woods for the blue gem. I guess I'll try and do 100% run. We'll see. I don't think we're having much luck with the Cortex thing. If they do a Cortex thing, I know a lot of people want Cortex as like a skin, but me personally, I really want him as a sidekick just because I think it would be hilarious to have a tiny Cortex following around and just, you know, be like, oh, the world is mine! You know, just having a little guy following you around. So I really want a Cortex sidekick. I could care less for a Cortex skin. It would be awesome to have a Cortex skin, but I personally feel like I'd prefer a sidekick. What is up, cat? How you doing? I need Pup shot down his partner Tails in Fortnite. Because Pup doesn't like games. You heard it here first, folks. Pup is actually a video game LARPer. But here I am playing Crash Bandicoot 2 for the 50th time, I'm sure. I don't know how many times I've played through this entire game. Number keeps going up, though. Just like how this keeps going up. In drop frames. The greatest Crash game. It truthfully is. If Crash 4 weren't so difficult, I'd give it to Crash 4. Crash 4 is a close second. But I do still really enjoy Crash 2 a lot. I'm glad that they took a lot of influence from Crash 2 for Crash 4, though. But they did spoil us with that double jump. I hope that the double jump stays as a feature, because, like, you can't just spoil us with the double jump and then go back on it. Like, you can't do that. Nope, that's not allowed. They're gonna do it. They're gonna take it away from us. Thank you for the 2 Scooby snacks, Mr. Krabs. Crystal Gut. I remember the first time playing through this game, these like rat holes scared me, and I sucked at them. I didn't know how to spin them. Why does Pop love AI? I wish I knew. Crystals, Crash. Crystals! Again, they look like this. Dude, I can't wait to do this in Fortnite, dude. Okay, so I figured out how to do custom lobbies in Fortnite. And I think whenever we get the Crash Dance, I'm just gonna tweet out the Fortnite custom match code.
Done, Crash. I knew I could rely on you. Now listen carefully. These holograms are hard to maintain. During the course of my intellectual pursuits, I have stumbled across a force that threatens to destroy the world. Crystals are the only means of containing it. The fate of the world is at stake. It is imperative, therefore,
I love his facial expressions.
to me.
So I'm going to McDonald's. Crystals, crap. But yeah, no. I'm thoroughly excited for Crash and Fortnite. I can't wait to never equip another Fortnite skin ever again. Look, Nick probably doesn't even know what Crash Bandicoot is, alright? No, no shame towards Nick, but come on, man. If you can't tell the difference between a Genesis cartridge or a Super Nintendo cartridge, I don't have much hope that he knows much about Crash Bandicoot. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Bam, bam. Aw, you. Warp room. I'm sure it's rage bait too. It's successful rage bait, but at the same time, it's just like. Oh, hey, Brio. How's it going?
You were helping Cortex gather crystals, yet you have acquired a gem. Interesting. Well, Crash, know this. As long as you are allied with Cortex, you are my sworn enemy, and I will do anything in my power to stop you. If the fate of the world is truly your concern, you must gather the gems, not the crystals. If you obtain all 42 gems, I can use them to focus a laser. A laser beam that will destroy Cortex and the space station he's created. Until then, I must use my forces to stop you from gathering crystals.
Yeah, so anyway, what that guy was saying. Boom, boom. Rather hear that you're fully fatigued from Sonic. It can happen, though. Sonic fatigue is real. That's why there's other franchises that you can enjoy, like Crash Bandicoot. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. I'm just really curious of how they would do Aku Aku as a sidekick, considering, again, they don't have a lot of variations for the sidekicks. And most of the sidekicks are on the ground, so if we get Aku Aku as a sidekick, he's gonna be, like, near the ground level, which is gonna look weird. And also, at the same time, I really hope that they don't do an Aku Aku back bling, because I don't want to spend $40 on 2 sidekicks, buddy. I wanted to do the little skipperoonie. It kind of sucks that they reuse a lot of animations from sidekicks, but I guess it's the only way to effectively keep using them, or, you know, easily put stuff over them. Because, like, you would rarely ever find a unique sidekick, and if they do an Aku Aku sidekick, he'd have to be a unique one, because it would just look weird. But I do think he is going to be a back bling, and if he's not a back bling... Oh my god, I just realized what the pickaxe might actually be. I think it might be the power crystal. It might actually be the power crystal. I could see an Aku Aku Black. That would be fun. And yeah, the sidekicks aren't cheap, especially with how they've adjusted the V-Bucks. I really hate the V-Bucks adjustment because, again, a sidekick, I think, is around 20 now. Like, I was gonna get Patrick when he got into the shop, but then I looked at it and it was like, oh yeah, if you want just the amount of V-Bucks to get him, you'll have to pay 20 bucks. I'm like, I'll stick to SpongeBob. Thankfully, Tails was on the Battle Pass. Six, 7! Hey, 6, 7. Never fails with Crash Bandicoot. Always get a 6, 7. I think the crystal would make more sense as a pickaxe. I'm not really sure what else they could do. I know a lot of people want his megaphone, but considering it's not the mascot Crash Bandicoot, I don't think it's going to be a megaphone. And yeah, no, there's a group of people dedicated to getting CTR running on PC through that, so that's pretty cool. I wish we could get an official port, but don't worry, guys. The copium for Crash Team Racing 2 is at an all-time high right now. It will be at Gamescom. I guarantee it. And if it's not at Gamescom, it'll be at Game Awards. And if it's not at Game Awards, it'll be at the next Xbox Showcase. And if it's not at the next Xbox Showcase, it's still going to happen. I will drive this copium through the roof. I don't know, man. I'm just basing it off of what Nate the Hate said recently. It's all pure speculation on my end. I'll let myself let down I'll let myself down. That's what the wording that I'm looking for there. But I don't know. What Nate said has me questioning a lot of things. Movie 4 news recently. It's interesting. I was a little weirded out until I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Time travel is kind of a part of the thing. So, I mean, I'm sure it'll make for a cool fight scene. Not sad again. He's not a child anymore. Unfortunately, with them reusing so many assets for sidekicks are just going to be that small. It is really weird, but they do clarify that it's a hologram. The actual Tails is apparently the glider, which is really cool in my opinion. I think that's a cool thing that you just have actual Tails. Canon Tails is the glider. Doom, 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 doom. 6-7 again? Oh my god, we are being blessed by the 6-7 gods. Did I hit any checkpoints on my way here? Guess I'll find out. Dun, 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 dun. Nine, 7. Not as funny as 6-7. Good. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You know, I want to keep my double Aku. I'll come back. Also no riders mentioned as wild. I don't know why Sega's allergic to the term riders now. They have been for quite a while. It's just really weird because whenever you think about it. Hold on, I'll let this cutscene.
3 crystals. Not bad. I see you are getting the hang of it. I need to conserve power. I will communicate with you again after you retrieve the 5th crystal.
Okay, Cortex. Yeah, I don't know. It's really weird because you have Aviator Tails in Fortnite, and then in Rumble, they called the rider skins for Tango, Whisper, and Surge Raiders, which is really strange considering I think in Sonic Speed Battle and Dash, the rider skin for Surge it might be Biker Surge. Oh no, the slide didn't come out. Fuck. But yeah, no, I don't get it. But I mean, like, I kind of have a feeling that Sega really doesn't care for riders that much, considering they celebrated the 10th anniversary for riders this year. Yeah, that's right. Happy 10th anniversary to the game that came out in 2006. They didn't delete the tweet. They didn't edit the tweet. They just were like, yep, it's its 10th anniversary. But my most wanted Fortnitemaire, I don't really have much of a preference when it comes to Fortnitemares, because I'm not like a big horror fan. But it looks like they're doing Five Nights at Freddy's, so be interested to check that out. This was fun before they updated the game and overhauled it completely. That is true. I don't know why they decided to turn it into an auto, like, fighter card game, but I knew as soon as they made that change that that game wasn't gonna last. Like, as soon as it came out, I was just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think this game is gonna happen. And then, lo and behold, I think it was yesterday, it was announced that it was unfortunately canceled. So. And yeah, the 4 a.m. VODs are really funny for this game. I would do my own rendition of it, but it would take some time. No, please. Woo! Ah. Five Nights at Crash. So completely rolled out the remake of old games with the 4Kids cast. Yeah, I see Rumble lasting about another year or so. Well, I'm almost certain Freddy's in, or they're doing something with Five Nights at Freddy's. Because you had the pizzeria on the map now, and Fort Nightmares is going to be at Halloween Horror Nights, hosted by Universal. So I think something's happening, and it makes sense because the gaming season runs until October 30th. At least that's what it looks like. This Blue Gym route is not locking in for me. Plus, they're teasing that a collab is coming soon. And I don't know, man. The pizzeria looks like so much like the movie Pizzeria. Like, what else could it genuinely be? So, if anything, it's going to be a Five Nights at Freddy's movie tie-in, I'd imagine, as opposed to the games. So, we might get Afton, and they might design him after Matthew Lillard, which would be pretty sick. I'll take Purple Guy. Purple Guy Shaggy. And then you can pair him with Scooby, and then you'll have actually Scooby and Shaggy in the game. Yeah, I'm thinking it's movie themed because the restaurant is based off of the movie. I mean, like, I could be wrong. They could do a gaming thing and a movie thing, but I think it is going to be primarily based off the movie. Yoink. Purple Shaggy. They'll probably do a rerun of the Scooby-Doo skins. I could see that happening. The Grinch. I think they'd be a year too late because everyone else did Grinch last year. So, I'm just kidding. I think it would be interesting. Maybe Jim Carrey-based Grinch. That would be fun. Even though I want a Jim Carrey Robotnik skin. The Robotnik skin they have looks great. I think I like that one most out of all the models in the game. Because he's so on point. Guess if that merger goes through, I don't know. There's a lot of things trying to block that merger. It's kind of up in the air right now. I mean, like, I could see it happening, but I don't know. I guess it's one of those things where you're gonna have to wait. It'll be a waiting game. Yeah, me too. Crash, me too. Oh, this is a level that's infamous for backtracking. One of the very few first backtracking levels. I was hoping I'd land before hitting that TNT crate. Oh, is that 6-7 again? Dude. We've gotten a 6-7 in almost all the stages. Yo, Rose, how's it going? Chucky sidekick would probably, yeah. I could see a Chucky sidekick. Alright. Rid of the turtle. Vulture. Gotta start backtracking here. Well, I'll start backtracking here. Bum, bum. Oh yeah, no. I'm sure they were just like, hey, you know what? Marvel Rivals is doing it. We can too. Trying to 100%. I mean, I'm going for an initial 100%. I don't know if I'll just stop going for 100% in this run at some point. I guess it really just depends. Because I've 100% of this game so much that it's almost like muscle memory. Thank you. Thank you, turtle. I know it's your woods, but you don't gotta be like that. Yeah, okay. I'm thinking that's all the crates. Crash the Hedgehog. Oh. How's it going, Frank? So interesting to put a heavy iron crate here. Oh, this is the one that has the weird crates. Okay, yeah. Those crates are always counted weird. I was in radius to get those as well. All right, let's see. Oh wait, no, not yet. Lunk. Yeah, no. There's an insane modder that's done a lot with this game. They've also managed to make it to where they've made like their own like custom Sonic and Crash collab game with its own custom cutscenes and everything. Oh shoot. I wouldn't be able to make that. Should have probably waited a little bit more before gliding. I think I'm just gonna have to keep one of those crates around. But yes, I need that Crash Team Racing too. Give it. Give me the racing game that will be the next addiction. That I will never stop playing. I don't even care if it has battle passes. Give it to me. Did it get that TNT crate again? Okay, it did. Yeah, you got Axel coming in next week. I do want to get back to Crossroads at some point. I just don't know when. Because, like, Axel's pretty cool, but I saw the, like, the festival events that they had people voting for, and I'm just like, eh. I don't know. I feel like the festivals could be much better if they just got rid of, like, the, like, tap boost thing and just replaced it with another special event or something. I saw, like, I don't know where those votes are at the moment, but I saw that, like, the third most voted for one was the super collision boost. I'm like, guys, you realize it's just tap boost again. Why are we voting for tap boost twice? We'll get Crash 5 eventually. The thing about Crash 5 that I know I keep seeing a lot of people talk about, and I know, like, I mean, like, it's up to interpretation, I suppose, if you want to go with the interpretation of it. But I know that everyone's like, oh, I can't believe Crash 5 got canceled, when really it didn't. It was mostly just a concept that got turned down. Like, nothing for it really ever got into development past concept art. So, I mean, like, personally, we're gonna get a Crash 5 at some point. It's just not gonna be what it was conceptualized as. Even though I know a lot of people hated that concept, I still like the concept of it. Because we could have actually had a Crash and Spyro crossover game that wasn't trash. Also, a really unique use of Uka Uka. I don't think they're going to redo the storyline. I think when it comes to Crash 5, they're just going to do what they're doing with Spyro, where I don't even think it's going to be called Crash 5. They're probably going to break that trend as well. Just so that way they can focus on more story building, more lore building. I think it would just be best if they ditched the numbering. I'm really hopeful for Crash and in Crossworlds. I don't think it would happen, but I'd be all for it. I just think it would be really fun and really funny. I'm wanting Uka Uka as the main, not Uka Uka. I'm wanting Entropy as the main villain. Like, I know Uka Uka will return as a main villain at some point, but we could have had it all. We could have had it all in Crash Bandicoot 4. But then they were like, actually, no, let's make Cortex the main villain last second. I feel so gypped. They were cooking with trophies, and then you get to the trophies fight, and it's built up like the final battle, and then it's just like nothing. Still one of my favorite battles in all of Crash, I think. Like, that build up to the trophy boss fight is just so good. Crash 5 didn't get canceled because of that. Crash 5, again, was just a part of a pitch that was going to be pitched as a way to get away from Call of Duty. And then they decided, well, Activision was like, no, we need you on Call of Duty support, so. That's why Crash 5, that concept of Crash 5 never happened. Yeah, what's up, Doc? Thank you for the follow. How you doing? I think we can give Cortex a little bit of a break from being main villain for a little bit. Six, 7 again, dude. 6, 7 is just the number of the day. fucking love these stages. Oh my. Oops. Didn't jump it down. Though, I don't know if Toys for Bob would be handling the next Crash game, since they've had their hands tied with Spyro, and I'd imagine that their next project would likely be Banjo, with how much they keep saying that they want to use Banjo, or do a Banjo game, so... 6-7. I'ma do it, because I have free will. That is the one thing that God made a mistake about. Giving me free will. Me too. I think Toys for Bob would be a great place for Banjo. That's perfectly fine. I think the best thing about Crash is that people have their own versions of what Crash looks like in their heads.
We are not without enemies. Some of them you may even recognize. Although they cannot harm you inside this warp room, they can attack you on your way to the next one. To get to the next warp room, use the platform that appears in the center of the room. Good luck.
All right. I personally love the Crash 4 design, or the modern Crash design, as I'm just gonna call it for now, because I think Nicholas Cole did an amazing job with just taking all the aspects that people loved about the previous iterations of Crash and mashing them all into one. Like, there's an aspect from each version of Crash that is displayed in the Crash 4 design, and it's just an absolute love letter to the entire design history of Crash, and that's why I like it so much. But it's okay. It's not everybody's favorite. I just that's just my preference. And yeah, he did work on Sonic Prime a bit as well, doing Chaos Sonic, which is kind of unfortunate because I don't like Chaos Sonic that much, if I'm being honest. I thought Chaos Sonic was okay. I don't think it beats Neo. I think Neo is still going to be my favorite iteration of Metal Sonic ever. Bro. Disney Skate Adventure was another TFB classic. It was. Which is just funny to think, you know, that they did that as well. And yeah. A lot of Crash's stuff, some of Crash's stuff are just a bunch of stock sound effects that you can find. Really fun.
I see that Ripperoo failed to prove much of a challenge yet again. But back to business. There are crystals to be gathered, 20 to be exact. The planets will align shortly, all 13 of them, and this will create a power great enough to rip the Earth apart. Properly utilized, however, the crystals can absorb and contain the energy.
Crash, is that you? I've been looking everywhere. I don't have much time to tell you this. You have to be careful. Trusting Cortex seems a little unwise. Crash, I can't keep the data path open much longer. Crash, you need to...
She's telling him everything. I can't remember my first introduction to Metal Sonic, to be completely honest. Trying to think. I mean, it would have probably had to have been Adventure because he's in the adventure field. I think Wild Brain animation would have been done by someone different, but I know what you're talking about. We did dodge a massive bullet with that. As, you know, unfortunate it is to hear about a Crash thing getting canceled. I'd, you know, much rather it had not been done now with all that stuff, but... I'm thinking it's likely that a Chow Garden is going to happen at some point with how much they've been utilizing Chow recently, even putting them in Fortnite, which is really insane to me. But yeah, I think we're going to get something with Chow in the next mainline game, possibly. It might not be a Chow Garden per se, but I think they know people really want Chow in the games. So I do think we're gonna get some form of utilization from the Chow. Might not be an actual Chow Garden, or they could do like just a small little thing where you can display your Chow in like a hub world or something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool. I think what they're probably planning on doing is, though, because of how they've been handling certain games where you can, like, equip a buddy, like in Sonic Rumble, you can have buddies follow you and they give you, like, different stats. Same in Speed Sim. I think it's going to be on that kind of angle where we're going to see Chow coming in and being, like, something that goes along with you and, like, improves your stats. I could 100% see them utilizing Chow in that way. I don't think they do microtransactions for a Chow Garden. Unless it were a mobile game. Like, they wouldn't do microtransactions for a Chow Garden. Sega's not that greedy. Where I just heard the Fortnite knock sound effect in the back of my brain. Yeah, DLC 100%, maybe. But there's a lot of money to be made with Chow. I'm glad that they are recognizing that a lot of people want Chow. What's up, Nova? Yes, Crash Bandicoot. Would a Crash fighting game work? I mean, I guess. I don't know. I haven't really been too hype about fighting games myself recently. I got really burned with Multiverses. And I think ever since Multiverses, I've just been, like, so over fighting games. Like, they look fun. Don't get me wrong. And I'd be happy if Sonic got a fighting game or if, you know, a fighting game happened for Crash. But I just don't think I would play it as much just because, again, I put a lot of faith and hope in Multiverses. And with how that game turned out, I'm just like, all right, I think I'm good for fighting games. And I kind of am burned out on Smash Brothers as well. I'm just like, if another Smash happens, which it will, that's cool, but I'm probably not going to pick it up. It'd be cool to have Crash in it, but I don't know if that'd be enough to get me to go back to it. But I am looking forward to that Tangle mod that someone's making for for Smash Ultimate. What's up, Derek? How's it going? It did die twice. The problem with Multiverses, though, is that they decided to do a complete from the ground up rebuild of it for Unreal Engine 5, and I just thought that was like the most useless thing you could have done. It was perfectly fine. I get that Unreal Engine 5 promised better netcode, but like, you know, doing a full ground up build of it is like, why? Why would you do that? Power Stone, that would be fun. I mean, like Rumble worked, and that was sort of, it wasn't Power Stone, but it was like Power Stone adjacent, I'd say. God, I miss Rumble so much. Rumble deserved the world. Rumble was so good. They had such a potential with Rumble. The gameplay loop was really addicting, and it was just fun seeing which different characters were to come in. We were gonna get Tiny, Pinstripe, and Nina. They could have used it as a way for marketing new games as well. Why did that platform take forever to rise? And no, I agree. Unreal is overrated, and also just, I kind of don't like that it's becoming more of an industry standard, because a lot of companies are going to use Unreal Engine because it makes the graphics pop, and they're like, oh, that's cool. And then they're not going to optimize it properly, because it's like the biggest issue with Unreal Engine made games. Like, yeah, they look good, but if you don't optimize it properly, it's going to run like shit. Which is why I'm also very scared for Unreal Engine 6, because that's going to be more streamlined with AI and a lot of vibe coding. And I'm just sitting here thinking like, okay, so now not only are developers not going to properly optimize their game, but now some things might not even function properly because of being vibe coded. Like, again, I appreciate that Unreal is so accessible, but at the same time, the caveat is if a company's not going to use it properly, it's not going to perform well on PC, for that matter, and maybe even console as well. I mean, I might as well just go ahead and die. It may be better than Unity, but let me give you an even better alternative to Unity and Unreal Engine. Godot. Godot is insane with what it's capable of now. So I think people should use Godot. Hey, stop it. I wanted the extra life, you jerk. Oh, this isn't good. Let me just bloop. Godot. Godot. Whatever you want to pronounce it as. I remember when Sonic Colors Ultimate came out, and there was just a big buzz about it because Blind Squirrel claimed that they made an engine for Colors Ultimate, the Blind Squirrel engine, when really it was just a backport of Godot. So like, oh, that was funny. But that was when I was like, whoa, Godot can actually do that? You think Crash will ever talk? God, I hope not. And if he does, I hope it's only for comedic purposes. Like why is the jump not coming out there? Like at the end of Crash 4, where he's like, I'm doing just fine. You know, that's fine. But if you're doing like a Skylanders Crash thing, then no, thank you. I'm good. You can keep it. That's like another fear of mine when it comes to Crash getting like a movie or a cartoon, that they're just gonna chicken out and just have him talk. Why is this jump being so difficult right now? I'm going to die.
What have I got?
There we go. Jesus. Now the die. On my way back. No, Crash shouldn't speak in full sentences. Like, if he does, like, pancakes, that's fine. You know, if he does, like, one-word lines, sure, whatever. But, like, Crash should not be capable of speaking full sentences, considering the whole point of Crash is that he's an insane marsupial. You know, like, they fried his brain. He's not supposed to be comprehensible at all. Like, the whole point of Crash is just dumb sheer luck. Did I get the crystal? I did get it. I think at one point in time, Universal or DreamWorks, was it? No, it's Paramount. I think Charles Zimbilius said that Paramount was doing like a Crash movie at one point. But due to creative differences, it got canceled.
Come on in. The party's still going.
Like for the raid menu? Go. Minow? What were you streaming? How you doing? Playing the game, or is it automatic? Get the red gem. Oh, shoot. Stupid hedgehog. Even blue ones don't ruin the day. Wonder. That would be pretty fun. Considering Realm Beyond is supposedly going to be like a new realm, like I could see them doing like a background cameo or something. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Can't move because you're blocking the door, bro. Door stuck, bro. Did Crash just backwards long jump? I have to go clip that and check that for myself, because that looked like a backwards long jump.
What have I got?
No, I knew that was gonna happen. The back of my head, I was like, this seems familiar. Those extra lives. Yeah, no, I don't think Crash should be able to speak full sentences. I think that's the whole charm, though. Like, I don't get why some studios look at some mute characters and go like, oh yeah, these guys have to talk, otherwise we're not going to be able to tell a story. And it's like, you can do storytelling with silent characters. It's been an art form for as long as film has been around. I don't need Chris Pratt voicing Crash Bandicoot to go watch the Crash Bandicoot movie. I'm going to watch a Crash Bandicoot movie because it's Crash Bandicoot. I don't care who the famous voice actor or actress is voicing said character. I'm watching it because it has my favorite character in it. Oh, I know that. I know that. But you can clearly see that Crash is a character that's not meant to be like, he's not supposed to be able to speak. Other characters are supposed to speak for him. I think they did a really good job with that kind of storytelling in Crash Bandicoot 4 because, like, it's so well done, in my opinion. Basically new for you, well, but going mixed would say about 3 hours for a stream out of blue. Nice, nice. Sometimes those 3-hour streams out of the blue hits. Yeah, no, it's great. Both Coco and Aku kind of understand him, which is like when you have moments like in Crash 4 at the end where Cortex does the whole plot twist thing. And he's like, I'm gonna go back and undo my greatest failure. And then Crash is like, huh? And Coco's like, oh, he means you. And he's like, oh. So sad. Wink. Adam Sandler as Crash Bandicoot. Cortex is the bad guy? Wow. Hedgehog. Paramount should do a Skylanders movie because the voice actors, the characters of the loading show specifically recorded it. That'd be pretty interesting. I mean, like, I guess if anything were to happen with Crash and Spyro animation-wise, it would probably go to Paramount now, considering that Activision locked in that contract to do Call of Duty movies with Paramount. Pinstripe would make the most sense to have as a skin in Fortnite, but they're not gonna do it simply because if you're not a Crash fan, you don't know who Pinstripe is. It's like when someone was leaking that, oh, Tawna's a part of the Battle Pass, and I was like, I don't think they would put Tawna in Fortnite. Ah, dang. Oh, no. It'd be fun to see. I guess we'll have to wait and see, because it does say that it lasted, like, at least 7 seconds, I think. I think it'll be a rendition of the Crash theme, though, because, like, it kind of has to be. But I wonder if they're gonna tone it down like they did for Insane Trilogy. Oh, I know there's no evidence, but I mean, like, again, someone went to 4chan or whatever and was like, oh, guys, I know the Battle Pass is gonna have Taunt on it. I was like, No, it's probably not gonna have Taunt on it because if you've never played any Crash game outside of one, or like if you've played a Crash game outside of one, you probably don't even know who Tana is, and if you know who Tana is, you're probably thinking of Alt Tana from Crash Bandicoot 4. I could imagine them probably censoring the thrusting, yeah. Because that's why they didn't put the Crash Dance in Crash 4, even though we know that there's an animation for it. It wouldn't feel right without the thrust, but I know how they think. They're like, oh no, we can't put the thrust in. What would be really fun though, they're not gonna do it. But if the music was the Spiral Mouth Insanity Island. I don't want to make the same mistake 3 times. More than 3 times at this point. Make Freak Crash. Crash is a freak, though. You see how he looks at the hog before he rides it in Crash 1? Fortnite has twerking, but the only reason I would imagine that they would remove the thrusting is because that would be an Activision decision. Because they wouldn't want it to, like... Because it's their brand, you know? It's like, oh, you know... It's our IP, so if we have Crash thrusting, that gives the wrong idea. Kind of lingo. That's how these corporate guys think. There was a metal Crash Bandicoot. It was in Twinsanity. It was his mecha hydraulic operated brother. Nah, I know what you mean though. Like an actual metal Crash, that would be fun. Fuck. Their brand, same company that has Call of Duty and Overwatch. Yeah, but like again, it's the evidence is in the pudding. We have an animation of Crash doing the Crash dance in Crash 4, but they never use it anywhere. Which is so strange to me, considering that they get away with a lot of adult jokes in that game from the level names and skin names alone. Like, one of Tana's levels is literally called Booty Call. it's Booty Call, and you can't have Crash doing the thrust in his dance. That too, yeah. Especially, I like the one where Cortex is about to say ass, and then Coco's like, but... Aw. Like, they do get away with a lot of stuff in the writing and in some things in the game, but overall, I don't know what it is about the thrust in this Crash dance that they're just heavily against. It might just be because he's a cartoon character. It might as well just be what Universal had an issue with Crash Bandicoot 1 when they had Tana, and they were like, no, guys, this is appealing too much to kids. We're gonna have to ask you to remove Tana. Peak Raiden from Toys Rob. Insane Raiden. How's it going, Legendary Heroes? Here. I'm gonna step away real quick because I want water. I'll put on some chill music while I go AFK. Enjoy. All right, I'm back, and I got more coffee because coffee. Yeah, the entropy falling in love with femtropy scene, and then you have Dingo next to Crash going like, hey, look at there. Love at first sight. Fucking love Dingo in Crash 4 so much. All right, let's see. But yeah, Crash Bandicoot 2 is going all right. Not too shabby, not too bad, I'd say. I do need to lock in though, because like the first few levels were doing all right, and now now I have the streamer curse, where I'm just not good at the game anymore. Oh no, I know what you mean. Subtle things like that to look out for. Yeah, it is kind of unfortunate that tiny dude. Why is it just being weird with these slides and these slide spins? They're not coming out. Coming out. I'm gonna practice. I like how we got a reference to Pinstripe, even though he's wasn't in 4, but it was nice to see the reference. If they do another mainline Crash game, though, which they will, I think Tiny should be in it, 100%. I liked how Tiny looked in the concept art for Rumble. And I could have imagined that they probably based his moveset probably off of how he played in 3 and maybe his boss fight from Huge Adventure. The jump. I knew it. Well, see, we were gonna get Papu Papu in Team Rumble as well. Cowards! He looks sick. That's completely fair. Road to Nowhere is one of the stages that most people get to in Crash 1, where it's just like, I don't like Crash Bandicoot 1 anymore. And that's perfectly valid, because Road to Nowhere is super difficult. And is probably one of the many reasons why most people just stop playing Crash Bandicoot 1 to begin with. Because it is stupid difficult. A lot easier the cheese, if you know how to jump up on the tight ropes, the ropes on the bridge. So if you want to cheese it, you can do that. In Insane Trilogy, it's super hard to cheese because the collision shape for Crash is much different, so you'll find yourself slipping off a lot more. But usually whenever someone's getting a Crash Bandicoot, or if someone wants to get into Crash Bandicoot, I tend to be the type of person that's just like, you know what? I'll be honest. Crash 1 may turn you away from the series because it's really difficult. It's like a very difficult game to get into. I personally say to start with 3, because 3 is the one that holds your hand the most, sort of like gets you used to like the sort of formula that Crash is going for. And if you want a little bit more challenge, then you can go back and play 2, because I think 2 has the best balance between challenge and movement. And then if you really do want the challenge, then go for the original Crash. I wouldn't say the original Crash is necessary, because it was just them finding the footing for Crash Bandicoot. But it does become satisfying whenever you know what you're doing in Crash Bandicoot. I see your message. I appreciate that you're trying to get me to see the message, but if could stop spamming it. Gonna put you on a 10-second timeout. Appreciate it. But talk to multiple people in chat and playing a game at the same time. I'll get to it and then play for you. But yeah, no, having a Spyro movie by DreamWorks. DreamWorks just working on Crash or Spyro in general would be fun. But if you're gonna play 4, do not go for 106%. Right? Save yourself that hassle. Okay? Because look, Toys for Bob knows. Right? They know that Crash 4 was difficult. And yeah, they should have probably cooked on it a little bit longer, but I'm assuming that Activision really wanted Crash 4 out in the year that it was announced. So, in terms of difficulty, Crash 4 is definitely one of the worst, just because of how hidden gems work. Hidden gems in Crash 4 are by far the absolute worst in Crash history. It's same with the hidden crates. The hidden crates are god-awful. The blue gem challenge in Crash 4 is god-awful, because it's the exact same approach for Turtle Woods that they take in Crash Bandicoot 2, but it's a much longer level, and a level that you have to be super cautious on, because they give you a Kano, and the death spin would easily ruin your entire blue gem run. Crash 4 is one of my favorite games, but I will admit that it is too difficult. I get it. Crash is a platformer that focuses mostly on gameplay and has very little to do with the story. They've expanded on the story a little bit, but the thing about Crash is the fact that it is just gameplay first. Like that's the whole point of Crash. They wanted to do a little bit of a story for it, just as like a way to be like, oh yeah, you know, there's something here. Thought I was missing one credit. But save yourself the hassle if you're getting into Crash, and play Crash 3 first, right? Just play Crash 3 first. Like honestly, play Crash 3 first. Or again, if you want the challenge, you could play Crash 2 first. It would be awesome to see Crash Twinsanity or more remakes for Crash in general, but I'm kind of sitting on the sideline at the point where I'm kind of tired of remakes. I know people want remakes or just a complete version of Twinsanity in general, because Twinsanity is like the 06 in my opinion for Crash. There were a lot of awesome things that they had planned for Twinsanity that never came to fruition because of how development for that game went. But I'm taking a note out of Izuka's book for when he was talking about Sonic remakes, because I know a lot of people in the Sonic fanbase wants Adventure to be remade, Adventure 1 and 2. Like, those are some of my favorite games as well. But what he said is true. The industry has changed so much into the fact that if they do a remake, the exact amount of money, effort, and everything that goes into making a remake is the exact same amount of money and effort going into just making a new game. So I'm perfectly fine with them just going forward with making new games. I think I've lived the past of Crash a lot over the past few years, just because Crash has been a dormant franchise, and finally he's finally coming back. So like I'm a person that's starving for something new. Like, it's fun to go back and play Twinsanity, and it would be fun to see a remake of Twinsanity at some point, maybe in the future. But I want something new. I want to sink my teeth into something new, and I'm glad that Crash 4 came out and is taking the series in a different direction. And I'm hoping that, like, you know, in maybe even in a future game, they could take a lot of aspects or influences from Twinsanity that were scrapped and put them into another game. Like, I think it would be really sick to have another game that's focused around Cortex and Crash working together, or, you know, utilizing the gameplay elements from Twinsanity and putting them into a new game. Like, I would be 100% down for that. Not saying that I would ever not want to see another remake from the Crash franchise, like maybe for celebrating an anniversary or something. But I think it has gotten to that point where I've been without Crash for so long that, like, if they were to remake a game, I don't know if I would enjoy it as much. And that's another aspect too that I think a lot of people don't understand, especially when it comes to the Sonic stuff. Because, like, while they could do a remake of Adventure, it's not going to play one-to-one like Adventure, and I think a lot of people would end up picking up Adventure remake and just, you know, be like, well, this isn't anything at all like Adventure 1. This kind of taints the experience of Adventure 1. So it's kind of a risk for companies to look at what would be good to remake and what wouldn't be good to remake. I'm glad that the first 3 Crash games got remade, though. Same with Spyro. Because, like, again, I think those games definitely needed a remake and needed to be more accessible. But I'm all for whatever they have in store with Crash, even if it is another remake. Like, I'm not gonna be upset if it's another remake, but I am desperately wanting more story. I want more. That's why I was upset when I saw all those, like, leaks for Crash Team Rumble that had characters that didn't make the cut, and they were like brand new characters. And I know there were some people online that were just like, why are you adding so many new characters to the franchise? And there were people that were upset about that. But I'm just like, but wouldn't that be so cool to have new characters finally? That's why I love Catbat so much, because Catbat is an interesting situation where it shows an entirely different side of the experiments that Cortex has done. Like, it adds on to this entire different side that I didn't even think they would ever really tackle. But, like, 2 animals that are sentient and, like, you know, being forced to merge together, and they're not okay with that. Like, I think that adds an interesting layer to the consequences of Cortex's actions and would make for a really fun, like, anti-hero kind of thing. Like, I could see Catbat being, like, sort of an anti-hero kind of thing where Crash and Cortex are, like, working together, and Catbat sees that and they're like, ew, why are you working with him? Just want more lore. So there, technically, you know, it is a creation of Cortex and Embryo, because what Cortex did was he took I don't know the right order of the genders, but he took male and female gender bat and cat and mashed them together. So, like, and they were upset about it because that's not, they you know, they wanted to be their own people, or at least I guess the cat would be the one that's more in charge. I don't really know how that mind works. But it's such an interesting concept that I love. It's just like, oh yeah, you know, that would make sense as a Crash character. Because you see all these characters that are mutants and are, like, evolved, and they don't have an issue with it because they, you know, they're working with Cortex, or they're not working with Cortex. But it's just like, it shows an alternative side to the whole Dingo Dial kind of thing, where Dingo Dial's fine with being a mix of two animals, but Catbat isn't. I also like that Catbat sort of takes refugee in the old diner from Dingo as well, because it just sort of like, it connects those characters again, like a familiar location. Oh, too late. Is this the one that has the iron crates? I think it might. Oh, dash panel. B level. That would be fun. That would be fun. Having those moments. Like, again, you could take elements from Crash Twinsanity and work them into modern games, I think, and that would work out just fine. Please, can we get, like, I don't know how possible it would actually be, but, like, just getting, like, another soundtrack that's like Spiral Mouth, or just bringing Spiral Mouth back together for one soundtrack. You know, like a soundtrack that's influenced by Spiral Mouth would be really sick, I think. I love the Spiral Mouth soundtrack so much. They added so much personality to the Crash games that I feel like a lot of that personality is now lost because they don't use, like, acapella tracks for Crash. I just think that entire, like, era for Crash soundtracks made the most sense. Insane Trilogy is a bit iffy because, like, while there are some aspects of Insane Trilogy that I like, there are other aspects of Insane Trilogy that I'm not too fond of, and I think it might just be because it goes for a more realistic approach to how the games look as opposed to more cartoony, which is why I adore Crash 4 so much. I don't know. There are aspects, again, of Insane Trilogy that I do like, but there are some aspects that I'm just like, eeh. We're going Reginald. Call you Reggie. Blaze the cat. She is a pretty awesome character. It sucks that we don't get to do much with her, but I'm glad that she is going to be a focus in the upcoming IDW issues with Silver. I wouldn't be surprised if there are some that don't have that. Like, I would not be surprised. Again, Cortex, like, even though he's written to be like this really funny guy and this idiotic mad scientist, he's done some really horrible things. And I'm wanting them to explore more of that because, like, and if you thought that he wasn't horrible, right? If you thought that Cortex wasn't a horrible guy, the whole reason why Nina has metal hands is because he didn't want her to be able to feel the touch of animals. He did not want her to be able to pet animals and enjoy animals. He cut off her hands and specifically made them robotic hands because he didn't want her to fall in love with animals. It is so cruel to think about. And my dog. Just think some of the insane levels that you absolutely love in the originals just didn't hit very hard in insane. That's also very relatable for me. Like, a lot of the levels do look great. I like how most of the levels looking in Crash 3 in Insane Trilogy. I like how some of the levels look in Crash 2. Especially Crash 1. I think Crash 1 has the best representation in terms of how the levels look in that style. But again, I feel like it would have probably worked out better for me if it were more cartoony, as opposed to going for a realism kind of thing. It just makes it super weird because, like, Insane Trilogy is canon, and, like, you see the cutscene for Crash 1 at the end of Crash 4, and it's just, like, super weird. But I guess, I mean, like, it's sort of like how Mutant and Titans are also canon to the series. And they have a different art style. Luigi time. I do want to play more Mario at some point. What killed me? Was it the rat? Or was it the scrubber? I don't know. Thing you notice is that the PS1 levels, at least for Crash 1, are shorter compared to Insane Trilogy. Yeah, and I think that might just be because of just the levels looking bigger. Like, they definitely make the levels environments bigger in Insane Trilogy compared to the original, I think. And it just gives, like, that sort of illusion that it's a longer level. They're on a different timeline, but it's still canon to the series because of, like, how, like, the Mojo stuff works. I don't know. It's very strange. Like, pretty much everything in Crash is still canon, but it's all done on different timelines. Like, I don't even know what the timeline would look like right now, specifically. But I know that, like, Crash 4, It's About Time, takes place directly after Crash 3, which is weird to say, but, like, that's just because the measurement of time is off. For Cortex and Entropy, and Uka Uka, I guess, if you want to include him, even though he was just there for a brief second. They were stuck in that other area for like ages. I'm missing one crate. God damn it. But to Crash and everyone, it felt like it was a couple of days for them to come back. What crate did I miss?
Ten of 25 crystals. You're on your way. I'm running low on power, so communication from this point will be difficult. Again, be wary of the pathways between warp ruins. Remember, I'm counting on you.
Remember, I'm counting on you. Okay, whoa. And yeah, Cortex and Twinsanity was like Deadpool with the fourth wall breaks. I love how Cortex is portrayed in Twinsanity, written in Twinsanity. I think some of the insane levels that you absolutely love. Yeah, okay, yeah. That. Yeah, nah. Fish? Wrath of Cortex didn't do so well. I think one of my favorite moments in that game is when he's like, he's talking about trying to get to, he has to go to the different dimensions, and he's like, we need like 25 crystals or whatever. He's like, all we have is 1, 2. That's not enough. Like, he shit. I love that there's like an insane like connection between Cortex not being able to count. Mad scientists can't count. Another joke that I like in Twinsanity is just it's when they're sliding down the ice caps and he goes through the club, the cabaret club. Are those real, mother? Okay, I don't think there's a crate this way. I think the crate that I may have missed was the one in the in that room there. So let me just go ahead and nitro crate. Well, I mean, I guess we're talking about technicality. Crash himself would count as an autistic character because of his unfortunate brain scrambling. But me too, because I'm also part of Crash Bandicoot. I'm autistic. I think I've got all the... I think I should have the crate that I'm... Yeah, being able to teleport, one of the franchise's biggest mysteries. He just, you know, he just operates on his own free will now. He's got his own stuff going. Oh yeah, no, I do too. I love how he looks now, and I like the voice direction that they're going with him, but I'm always going to love Nolan North Engine so much just because I felt like I could tell he really enjoyed playing Engine, and I think his take of Engine is just So funny. I just love Nolan North engines so much. Just dance, baby. Can't really do it. But God, his engine was something else. I love how crazy they made him a mutant. Like, he's just completely abandoned by Cortex, and he's just this insane guy. Do I have a favorite and least favorite Sonic game? Favorite Sonic game is probably always going to be Sonic Adventure, and least favorite Sonic game I would hand out to... probably... Do. Aw, dang it. Probably Colors. That's probably going to be a controversial pick, but, you know, I don't like Colors. I thought it was okay. But that might just be because Colors is very Nintendo coded. I like Colors DS. Colors DS is fine. I just don't like Colors Wii. Damn it. Oops. Walk too slow. Sega Superstars Tennis. I think you're the first person I've seen say that statement. It would be cool to see them go back to the sports titles at some point, or doing something more spin-off other than racing. Because bandicoots are marsupials, and marsupials are mammals. That's why he has a belly button. But it's also probably just a design thing. Is that a good thing? I mean, I don't have an issue with it. Other people would probably say you're crazy, but I don't have an issue with you wanting another tennis game for Sonic. I think it would be fun for Sonic to explore spin-offs outside of racing. Like, Crossroads is fine. I miss Riders a lot. I know they have Extreme Gear in Crossworlds, but like it's not the same. Gonna do that in case, just in case. Yeah, I mean, Colors writing was partially an issue with me as well, and I just don't like the level structure of Colors in the Wii either. Like it expanding across 6 different acts and just it feeling very samey. Like I don't know. Sonic 06 is a guilty pleasure of mine. I do love it for what it is and what it was trying to be. So I do agree with that hot take. Forces is a fair one not to like because we were in some pretty dire times when Forces came out. But if you like Forces, that's fine too. And I'm glad I made your day. I mean, if you want, you can buy. I'd say like if it's on sale and it's something you want to play and you want to try, then it's definitely worth the pickup. I wouldn't pay full price for Colors Ultimate, just because I just don't think it's that great of a remaster. And again, Colors is kind of iffy for me. But if you've never played it and you want to try it, definitely would recommend picking it up on a sale. Also want them to bring back the Komodo brothers. I don't know why they are so hesitant on bringing these guys back. Alright, see you later, Frisky. Have a good one. We're hanging. Messed up again? How? And yeah, I do remember that trivia bit.
Good show, Crash. The Komodo brothers obviously lacked your mettle. But now is not the time to get cocky. There are still many crystals to obtain. Remember, the world is counting on you.
I love Sonic R. I would, like, there was a moment, I think, back in... I think it might have been 2020. It was either 2020 or 2021. I got Sonic R on computer, and I was using, like, I think I used the mod that, like, made it better on PC. Flip Scarecrow has it gone. And I would just play that back to back. Like, that would literally be all I'd do. I would be like, all right, gonna play through Sonic R, and then like an hour later, I'm like, okay, let's do it again. It was Sonic R and Crash 2 that I would just play constantly back to back in 2020. It was during the pandemic, so I didn't really have much of a choice of doing anything else. So Sonic R and Crash 2 were my pandemic games. I knew we were coming up to the level that had another timer. Played Sonic R through the PS2 Gems Collection. Gems Collection is such a vibe. I love Gems Collection. Am I gonna have to... that again? Fall Guys was your pandemic game. I tried to get into Fall Guys. Like, I remember, I think I got it gifted to me when it was on sale, and I apologize to whoever gifted that to me. Didn't really play much, but I could not get into it. It just wasn't for me, I don't think. And then I tried again when they did the Sonic collab, and it just still wasn't for me. But it is a fun game. It is a fun game. My a friend of mine, Cadigan619, I know he was streaming that game like a lot. I would always catch some of his streams, and it'd just be Fall Guys back to back, back to back. I need an Aku Aku. Yay. Crystal. Of course. Nope. We're just gonna damage boost. Yoink. Oh, fudge. No. Okay. Nah. Dang it. So close. Well, let's extract the crystal. Oh yeah. Cube World. we were on top of that. That was late 2019, wasn't it, Frank? Oh my god. Just saying that makes me feel a little sick to the stomach. Ugh. Me, you, and Dylan would be on top of that, like, almost always. Late 2019 to early 2020. I remember because I was in community college. We were playing it, and I just got, like, a new computer. I went to college. Don't need anything else making me feel old. Just like today, I saw a tweet going like, "Hey guys, Wow Wow Wubsy premiered 20 years ago." I was like, "The fuck it did." I think I hit that checkpoint. Fuck you, piranha. Piranha plant. Well, that's not good. Gonna have to tread lightly here. They didn't give me an Aku around here either. Hooray for SpongeBob. Right, I need to just spam that boost, I think. I need to lock. Have we become boomers? I suppose so. I'll proudly wear the title Unk. I mean, it kind of makes sense because I am an uncle. Yeah. I have nephews and nieces. All right. That's death, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, I say unfortunately, like it's a bad thing. I'm not too big into GTA. I haven't been in a while, and I might not even get GTA 6 when it comes out just because I don't really have anything to play it on because it's not coming to PC until much later, I guess. But I'll watch the Vanoss crew play it, I guess. Like the only people I watch on YouTube. Ah, you thought you could snatch me. These guys might snatch me, though. Snatch. Yep. Yoink. Oh. There we go. That was a much better run for the yellow. Did I hit a checkpoint? I can't remember. Found out. I did not. 42, the meaning of life. That's true, yeah. I mean, unless Sega takes advantage, which I don't see why they would, but yeah, I don't know, maybe. Unless Sega takes advantage of what Xbox and Microsoft are starting to do, and like they're building like that official 360 emulator and Xbox emulator in general, because they've already got some classic titles out on PC now, like Blinks and that Conquer Reloaded game. Like, I think we're gonna see, we could see them potentially making '06 available on Windows. I don't know if they would, but I think that would be pretty, I think that'd be pretty fun. Would it be worth it? No, but it gives people an option to play, I guess. Why am I... I don't know. I don't know why I'm going through this like I'm timed. Hold on, actually, let me... Do, do. It needs to give us Knuckles Chaotix. I'm sure that'll probably be re-released within time. Perhaps. Crash game in the style of Super Mario 3D World would be interesting. Don't know if they would do that, though. Might just pop hate. Fuzzy's channel. I don't know. I was gonna come up with an acronym for that, but people understand pup with that one. People underestimate. How about that? Having to help someone with something at the moment. That's what that does. Let me make sure. When will hold on one second. Hmm. I'm sure we'll get an official timeline at some point. I think in that dev talk that Paul Yan did a while back about Crash Bandicoot 4, when he's talking about the timeline of Crash games, they kind of tried to give like a timeline. I don't think we'll ever get an official timeline. And to be completely honest with you, I think that might just be for the best, because we're kind of getting an official timeline for Sonic the Hedgehog. And there's still a lot of pieces to it that they're working in that, in my opinion, don't really match very well. But we'll see. And to answer the question of when me, Wumpa Lewis, and CGE will do another Guess That Track video, I don't know, but I am planning something similar to that. That is going to be for Spyro. That is all I will say for now. But that is something that I'm currently planning in the background. That would be fun. Um, and Kirby and the Forgotten Lands kind of Crash game would be pretty interesting too. I do want to see what they're gonna do with Crash in terms of evolving the gameplay because I think the next mainline Crash game might try to stray away from the hallway kind of corridor design, even though that's like a staple of Crash. I think I could see them trying to make it more open. I think that's what they were probably testing with Crash Team Rumble because of how the levels were spread out. Like I could see them doing more open levels for Crash. Um and yeah, a 2.5D game would be fine. I wish they would do a re-release of the Huge Adventure and Entrance games. That would be really fun to see on Nintendo Switch Online, but I don't know if they would be able to. I don't know. That era of Crash has a lot of rights issues, which is why they couldn't put a lot of music from classic Crash stuff in Crash Team Rumble. Because I think people were asking about can we get stages and music from like Wrath of Cortex and Twin Sanity. And I think the major answer around that was just there were a bunch of rights issues retaining to the music, which, hey, very relatable for Sonic as well, because Sega has a tendency of having issues with the rights when it comes to music as well. All right, Inkspot, thanks for hanging out for a little bit. Hope you have a good one, buddy. Oh, dang it. I was trying so hard not to get hit by those nitro grates. Wasn't trying hard enough. Do you think that there would be that great in the Fortnite map? No. Like I said, when that thing was being showed, that a lot of people thought was a crate, it was just an artifact. I think Crash and Spyro are like literally the only thing that are getting into the game that's going to be Crash related, aside from whatever else comes with the Crash bundle. I don't think they're doing anything special. Like I don't think they're going to give him a sprite. I don't think they're going to do a POI or anything like that. I think it's just he's there and that's it. As much as I would love for Crash to get something other than the skin, I do believe that it's just gonna be the skin. That's it. Bum, bum. Also, how's the stream looking? It's dipping into the red for me for some reason. I hope it looks okay. It's not saying that I've dropped any frames, but frame is good. I don't know. OBS is being OBS, I guess. Glad it looks good on both ends. Thank you. OBS just being OBS. Oh, bullshit. As per usual. $353 gem collected. Oh, speaking of Tiny, we are in his warp room. The Chaos Emeralds. Of course. Sewer or later. It's only been 2 hours and we're on the third. Ooh, that's kind of crazy. Oh, okay. I'm so used to the sewer levels opening with an eel in the water. Was not thinking at all. Would have been a dead man. Take the Wumpa from this one. There's the aforementioned eel. Yeah, get out of the water, Crat! Aw, the platform sunk. The platform knew it had sentience. It said, oh, he's coming back. For you. Ah, my spin. I wasn't far away enough from the barrel. God, I love this game so much. Just such a vibe. Oh. Okay, this is, yeah, I think, level the secret. Yo! So I can get the gem. Habit of spinning after doing a slide is going to get me killed a lot. It has gotten me killed a lot. Yoy. Oh. Didn't move in time. The pain. Pain and misery. I want to know, because, like, obviously Crash Team Racing is likely gonna be next entry. I want to know what they're gonna do different with it, or if they're gonna change things about it, or if it's just gonna be like one-to-one how Nitro Fueled was, but with the reskin. Want to know what kind of different mechanics they could be looking into, because like I think it would be really fun if they could make the quantum masks and the elementals. I think the elementals would be really fun addition. Or just new mask power-ups in general, like base the power-ups around masks. Anti-gravity would be fire. I don't know why they were so against putting anti-gravity in nitro fueled. Like, I think I remember hearing that, like, oh, well, we didn't want people thinking that we copied Mario Kart 8, but Nitro Kart did anti-grav first. What are you talking about? If anything, Mario copied Crash Bandicoot. Ooh, a lag. This way. Way. Okay, that way is the right way. This way leads to a dead end soon. But I should have hit the exclamation. I forgot. But yeah, nitro gravity. Anti-gravity would be really fun to come back. Because, like, I think if you're going to, like, Crash Team Racing is a very delicate gameplay loop. So, like, I think it would be best to just keep the mechanics from Nitro Fueled, assuming that's what they're going to do. And then scarcely, like, building on top of it. That's weird. Nope, let's run that back. Just run that back. Run it back. What crate am I missing? No, there's not a crate on the yellow route. Did I miss one in the bonus? No. I think having another battle mode would be really fun because we didn't really get much of that. Like, we got it again in Nitro Fueled. I'm just gonna restart the time. But like, I think, yeah, like adding on to the battle mode or like doing something unique with the battle mode would be fun. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what they could do to make Crash Team Racing even better because, like, I do like Nitro Fueled and I do think it's like one of the more definitive ways to play Crash Team Racing. But it does have me a little excited to see what, like, they could potentially do with new mechanics in a new game. Aku. Take the yellow. This route should not have a crate on it. Fuck. I like how I hit the checkpoint crate before I did the Aku crate, so now it's just gonna, every single time I die, instant Aku. Well, I guess that works. Because now I can just die after getting the gem here. Get Aku again. I mean, bringing back the tag team mechanic would be a really interesting thing. I thought that's what they were going to do in Nitro Fueled when they were doing the Wasteland stuff, because we saw Chicken Stew, like, riding in carts together. And I was like, oh my god, are they going to actually bring the tag team mechanic in or something like that? No. I've heard about the GTA 6 leaks, but I don't care enough about GTA to really care that much about it. I guess it sucks to the developers, but also at the same time, it's not really my place to really talk because I'm not like big on GTA. I had to have missed a crate in here somewhere, I guess. I bet it's that life. No, I remember getting that extra life. I'm gonna get this just in case. There's a momentum. Momentum. Stunt arena would be. Ooh, actually, you know what? I think that would be really cool to have like stunts. Fuck my goddamn muscle memories. Yeah, my favorite stunt. The body slamming to death. All he needed to do was just the Sonic Adventure pose, and it would have been golden. But like golden from K-pop Demon Hunter. I think, actually, you know, I think I would want original characters in Crash Team Racing 2. Like, I hope that we get to see some of those scrap characters come back in Crash Team Racing 2, especially that Red Panda character. That Red Panda character looks sick. He had, like, a boomerang. He had that, like, Tony Hawk-like character, too. Yeah, no. That's what makes Crash, like, so replayable. And it's sort of like something that I remember specifically and fondly of hearing about the development for Crash on the Run was the death animations. They said when QA testing Crash on the Run, their favorite part was just coming up with the different death animations, because rather than them viewing death as like a penalty, it kind of rewarded them because they were able to see a unique animation from wherever Crash dies, and that's just something that is coherent and consistent throughout the entirety of the series, just the various amounts of animations of Crash dying. And I think that takes away a little bit from the rage. Like, Crash can be rage inducing, but my favorite part about it is just how they approach it. They like, yeah, death is a penalty, but like at the same time, you get something funny happening when it happens, so you feel less bad about it, if that makes sense. I would like new characters. How's it going, Fez? Did I miss where's this? You like the bad guy rhythm that this song has too? The dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun. It's great. Here, I'm gonna cash out these things I've already collected. I'm gonna go back in. I'm gonna find that crate. I am the crate hunter. Who we getting?
Crash! Thank goodness. I hacked into Cortex's computer and found detailed schematics for an improved Cortex vortex and a suspicious-looking space station. I'm not sure, but Cortex might be trying.
You mean the space station that we can see in the stratosphere? That's totally not big and avoidant. Find this last crate. Will be found. Time after time. Here, I'm gonna do a bit of a conspiracy theory. Wonder if that crate wasn't breaking for some reason. Find out. Okay. The Aku crate. Don't need to use the yellow gym path anymore. Got the gym from there. Those two crates. We're looking for 57. 57 crates. Well, that's suspicious that one didn't break. Did I get all the gems in original Crash Bandicoot? I have at least once done that, and I have never gone back to do it again because it's genuinely not worth it. You just get the ending with Crash flying off with Tana, even though Tana's gonna eventually leave him for Pinstripe. I do like that they were just like, you know, yeah, you collected everything. Skip the final boss. It's nice. Yeah, I've seen some custom levels blowing up for Insane Trilogy, which looks really cool, and I'd love to check out if Insane Trilogy would actually work for me on my computer. But I think my computer is just too good for Insane Trilogy now, so it's like, nope, don't like playing that. Because the video that I did talking about Crash in Fortnite, was the first time I had installed it in a while and booted it up. And then when I recorded the gameplay for it, after that, just launching it, it just doesn't do anything anymore. It's like, nope. Don't want to launch. Don't want to play properly. Rest in peace, Insane Trilogy for me. But that's okay, because I genuinely prefer playing the originals anyway. I feel like the aesthetic of the original is more fun. There are some things about Insane Trilogy that I do like when it comes to quality of life, like making the bounce crates 5. That's 57. Don't know what crate I was missing before, but that's 57 right there. 57 crates. 57 crates in hand. Wumpa with feet in sand. Sentient Wumpa. How could they take away Sentient Wumpa from us? Yeah, no, that is the thing. They reset, especially if you don't get to a checkpoint in time, or if you get to a checkpoint and you didn't break a crate behind you, like, that's just like completely blown out of your mind because you're just like, oh, I died. All right, let's continue moving forward. So, it's the cheeks. Sentient Wampa could have been a thing in Crash Team Rumble. I don't know if that would have made it better or if it would have made it worse. But all you need to know is that Cortex is allergic to them. I also just like how it's canon that that the reason these crates, like Nitro crates and TNT crates and jump crates and bounce crates exist is because Cortex specifically created them to train Crash. But like he didn't even know what the functions of some of the crates were. It's just funny. It's just like, oh yes, they were meant to be bounced on. Yes, I'll tack that onto my genius. Trouble with the trolley, eh? I think if Willy Wumpa Cheek sneezed on Cortex, he would die. A disgusting Wumpa whip. Gosh darn it. Actually, I bet Wumpa, like, I bet he's not allergic to Wumpa. I bet it makes his butt look big. And that's why he doesn't like Wumpa. Thank you. I'm coming for your job, Lex. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck, dude. I'm so glad that, like, I got to meet Roger Craig Smith at Too Many Games one time. I wasn't there to meet him for Sonic. I was there to meet him for Nitrous Brio. And he, like, he did a little bit with me as Cortex and Brio. It was fun. Yay! Oh, checkpoint. Oh. Still got Clancy Brown. Dude, what if I had the opportunity, right? If I had the opportunity to go in and do something for Crash Bandicoot, I would want to do a multiverse thing. And I would want it to specifically have Cortex, like, not even, it doesn't even have to be a multiverse thing. It could be a time travel thing. I want to have Clancy and Lex voice 2 versions of Cortex. I think that would be so fun to see both the original, like, dark and sinister Cortex paired with the absolute idiotic, like, dumb mad scientist Cortex that Lex has. I think there's a lot of chemistry that could be had there. It's a shame that they couldn't get Clancy in for 4 because, like, it feels like that's what it was meant to be, considering that it is time travel. But, man, it would just be awesome to have Clancy and Lex both in a project for Cortex. I feel like my impression is, like, a mix between the two. It's a fine middle ground, because, like, I can't really do those high pitches that Lex does, but I can do some of the lower tone stuff for the Clancy. Wait, is the dun, 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 dun. Oh, I forgot they sunk. Fuck. Yeah, they did have difficulty getting him for the SpongeBob games. Thankfully, in the more modern SpongeBob games, you can hear him. But I can't fully remember what it was about the past few games that, like, he couldn't do. I think he was just too busy. Okay. I hate that the camera is so close, because in Insane Trilogy, it's easier to see where the platforms are. They also made them metal, I think. In Insane Trilogy, they're like metal platforms. Nefarious and regular Nefarious, yeah. I could see it working like that. I like I would love the idea of Lex and Clancy getting together for something. Hold on, give me one. Employee of the month for PC. I have. I don't think I played it all the way through, but I remember a long while back for um I don't know how many years ago it was, but a buddy of mine, Riders DX, was doing a charity stream that I was a part of, and we were raising money for, I think it was Doctors with Borders or something like that. It was during the pandemic. I think that was one of the games that I streamed on my end. It was the Rehydrated Relief. Don't. Yoink. Taste in video games are odd. I mean, I guess it couldn't be any odder than mine. Like, I don't know. I don't really have a lot of favorite video games. He's doing all right. He's just he's done with social media in terms of Twitter and stuff like that, which, you know, good for him. I'm glad that he was able to get away from that, because it can be pretty mentally frustrating to be a part of. He still does videos ever so often. And I think he does organize charity streams ever so often too. No, I agree. I like Rehydrated, and I'm glad that it got a Battle for Bikini and Bottom got a remake, but there are certain parts of Rehydrated that I'm not too crazy about, and I just don't find myself really going back to play as often. But then again, I haven't played Battle for Bikini Bottom in, like, God, I don't know how long it's been now. It's been a good couple of years. And yeah. He's been pretty excited about the Fortnite stuff, though. Yeah, I think there are creep. Could be wrong. Oh wait, no, there's not. I was wrong. Yeah, I'm not sure about the rights for those old PC games. I don't know how that would work. I mean, I'm sure THQ could probably potentially re-release them. Again, I think it still has something to do with the rights, because it's like it's always something when it comes to these games. It'd be cool to see, though. That's a good question. I'm very curious of what they meant by Hit and Run coming back. Only time will tell. Maybe we'll see something at Gamescom. Wink. God, I haven't heard the name Liam Robertson in a while. Been a hot minute. Yeah, no, that's I unfortunately feel like that's gonna be an issue moving forward. With gaming in general, just preservation and just, you know, like, again, it's been the big talk of the town for forever because of all that. And I mean, like, I don't really tend to talk about it too much just because it sucks, you know, it does suck. But, like, hopefully we can get to a point where these corporate guys are like, oh, hey, you know, we could make some money. People actually own the stuff that they own or bought, you know? I don't have to worry about going for 100% in this stage. But I will break crates so I can farm some lives. Oh, shit. I didn't realize that was a platform that I would fall on. Sonic Advance with Rush, Rush Adventure, and Colors DS or Frontiers Definitive Edition. I do want to say that I believe, right? I believe that they won't be able to do Rush just simply because of a music rights thing. I'm pretty certain that is what it is. Rush Adventure maybe because they're using Rush Adventure music in Speed Sim, and Colors DS maybe. I'm sure they could probably do Colors DS. But yeah, no. I mean, it'd be great to have those games re-released on like Nintendo Switch Online or just in a bundle for something. Because like I think everybody should at least play the Rush games. Like you know, if especially Blaze is like an important part of the franchise going forward. Like it's just one of those things that's like, you know, why not? Why not make them available for people to see where Blaze comes from? I mean, like same with like the Rivals games. As much as I dislike the Rivals games, it would still be pretty nice to have people. Fuck, dude. I restarted the whole level just particularly for the death route, and I forgot that I was going for the death route. It would be pretty awesome. It would be so cool. I do think CTR2 is going to be announced sometime. And like, I know a lot of people are like, but Dave, how? They won't have enough time to market it. Crash Team Racing doesn't need marketing. People are going to look at Crash Team Racing 2 and go, Crash Team Racing 2. It doesn't need marketing. It doesn't need marketing. Crash is one of the franchises of all time that you could literally just be like, hey, there's a thing coming out for it. And people are like, oh my God. Like, look at there was a tweet from Discussing Film. And I know it was just mostly people dogging on how the design looked in Fortnite. But that tweet alone, just the screenshot of Crash and Spyro together, like, view-wise it outperformed the Sonic stuff. Like that tweet had more interactions for it, more views for it than the Sonic stuff. And Sonic is still pretty big, but like that tweet alone gathered so much interaction in such a short amount of time. Crash just brings in the interactions. He doesn't have to try. Got me confused. They were releasing Modern Collection for Switch, and it's just Colors, Ultimate Forces, and Frontiers for Switch 1. Yeah, but that's just because those are the modern games that are, I guess, accessible, and they think would be best to have in a collection together. Like, they could have done Shadow Gens. Or are they doing Shadow Gens? I don't know. I don't know what's with the Classic Collection. Crash 4 had a marketing cycle of 4 months, yeah. Crash doesn't need to say anything. They could just be like, yeah, Crash is doing this, and everyone would be like, oh my god.
For subscribing.
Thank you for the sub.
What have I got?
Fuck, dude. Fuck.
What have I got?
Rutabaga. Yeah, you can spin the logs. My timing was just off.
What have I got?
I guess if I'm committing to this 100% thing, I'm not looking forward to Spaced Out. I'm not looking forward to the gym route. Yoink. Wah, fuck.
What have I got?
The unfortunate part of having full 3D control in 2D sections.
What have I got?
Oh yeah, the retro skin. Hot take. I like how Crash looks in Fortnite. I got no issues with it. Yeah, he looks a little weird, but it's Crash. He's supposed to look weird. He's not supposed to be cutesy. He's supposed to be ugly. Supposed to be fugly. I absolutely adore how he looks. I like Crash in Fortnite before it was cool. Even though I know most people are probably just going to use the retro looking. I mean, I'm going to use both of them, but I'm probably going to just keep the regular look on majority of the time. I'm actually really surprised that Spyro's not getting like a retro-ified look to kind of coincide with how Crash looks. But I'll take the Ripto power-up thing. Uranium Spyro, as I like to call him. Boom, boom. All right. I also just think it's how they animated him in the trailer, because that was all CGI. So obviously, you know, it's going to look really weird depending on how they animate him. But also, it's this, I mean, I missed the crystal. All right, because I took the death. But I like how I don't really care. You want to call me not a Crash fan for liking how he looks in Battle Royale, then fine, man. But I'm still gonna lore dump you. Did you know Cortex comes from a family of circus clowns? That he killed his entire family? Did you know that? Bet you didn't. But that's not canon anymore. Because his mother's still alive. Checkpoint. Those. Be too loud. All right, Crystal God. Dun, 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 dun. Unbearable. It's just unbearable. Oh yeah, for sure. Just like how I was saying earlier to someone that was like, is it weird that I want another Sega Superstars Tennis? No. What you like, bro? Don't smile at me, Barbara. Barbara the polar bear. Barbara the giant polar bear. It's your name now. Barbara. Barbara Bowler. Call it Giant George. This one's Giant George. Giant George and Barbara Bowler. Ouch. Who put these landmines everywhere, huh? Couldn't have been Cortex. He doesn't got that time. He doesn't got that type of time. Did somebody say they want a Kaizo 2D section in their polar bear level? Personally, I like all the skins that they've done for Fortnite recently. Some adjustments that would make them look better, but eh. Again, it's Fortnite. I'm not expecting it to be one-to-one. Yoink! All right, buddy. I'm taking your shotgun privileges away. Crash. Why do they have to make the bullets so big? George is big. That's so true. They are hunting giant polar bears. That's correct. That makes sense. Should never doubt the giant George hunters. 6-7. 6-7 for good luck. Well done, said Grump. You saved Egypt. No worries, Mr. Prime. All in a day's work, right, Gromit? Linkin Park covers plays after this. In the end, it doesn't even matter. Because he's a Fortnite influencer. It doesn't matter if he was a Sega influencer or not. Every Fortnite influencer got a cartridge. I'm pretty sure. I think it's just, I mean, personally, I think it's just rage bait. He could just be doing it to get views because he knows it'll set people off. But, you know, that's how some of these influencers are. They'll be like, "Hey, look, I got this cool thing," and then make one big that's a thing that a lot of like Fortnite influencers are infamous for, and they know that they're doing it for engagement because, like, for example, um, when the Sonic stuff was getting data mined for, um, thank you, when the data mine stuff was happening for Sonic in Rocket League, and they got the supersonic like goal thing, one of the leakers was like, "Oh, there's a gold Sonic finish," and he showed a screenshot, and so it's supersonic, and everybody in the comments were like, "Name is Supersonic. It's not Gold Sonic. It's Supersonic." And then just recently, they added gold sprites variants to Fortnite, and one of them is Gold Sonic. And he took a screenshot of it, and he said, "And you all thought I was crazy. You all thought I was crazy for saying there was going to be Gold Sonic." So like, they know what they're doing. They are very self-aware. Supersonic skin and said tail skin. It's also like when people uh said coins instead of rings sometimes. Like people were like, look at these the first look at coins in Green Hill Zone POI. Like these leakers and all these influencers know what they're doing. They do it because they genuinely know that someone's going to call them out for it. It's going to, the clip's going to go viral because everybody in the Sonic fan base is saying, hey, that's not la 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 la, I should have gotten the Sonic cartridge. Man, I wish. Man, I am 8-bit. Hey. Hey. No, I'm just kidding. Was that Genesis or Super Nintendo? I believe it was the Commodore 64. Well, actually, funny little crash trivia for you. Wumpa fruits are referred to apples in Japan. In all the Japanese localization for Crash Bandicoot, the Wumpa fruit is an apple. So technically they're not wrong, but yeah, no, Wumpa fruit, I would imagine just being like a mango or like a mix between the two. But yeah, in Japan, they refer to Wumpa fruit as apples. That's why in the Crash 4 trailer for Japan, when they're doing the Crash dance, they have a bowl of apples on the table. Um, I was supposed to agree with you. I wish I could, but that would be dishonest and disregarding the Crash lore, and I can't do that. As much as I love calling them Wumpa fruit, they are technically apples in a certain region. But also a really cool thing that I like about the Japanese version of Crash is that they have a unique theme for Cortex's final boss that they've never remixed, never brought back, and it confuses me because it's actually really good. Like here, let me pull it up real quick because it's drastically different from how it sounds um in America. Like I think they use the same Cortex theme in the intro of the Japanese. I could be wrong about that. But here, hold on. That's a cover. This. Japan players are LARPers. It's insane. It's crazy. Um Here, I'll send a link if anybody wants to bookmark it for later or save it for later. Um yeah, no, I think that some of the stuff was sampled in other iterations of his theme, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's interesting that they got like a unique version of the final boss theme than we got. So like it's one of the few little interesting differences that I remember seeing. No problem. All right, let's get rid of these George hunters, these giant George hunters. We gotta save our boy, even though we're running away from him. But for valid reasons, I mean. kind of sounds better. It definitely sounds more action-packed. I still really do love the other version of Cortex theme just because it's so sinister. Like, it definitely has that, like, oh, this guy is a bad guy kind of vibe to it. I'm the bad guy. Duh. Now watch me crank 90s in Fortnite. It's a funny name. Funny name for a giant polar bear like Barbara. We'll stick with it. Get out of here. Okay. What do I call it? The turtles? I don't have any special names for the turtles. If you wanna come up with a special name for that. I know the name for the turtle, but it's not coming to mind. I think it is just like I literally think it's Spiked Turtle and Buzzsaw Turtle. I think those are the actual names. Armored Armadillo. We'll call the turtles Paul. Whoa, collision. Collision at its finest. Armadillo also a Mega Man villain. Is that Frank? On that, we have the Mega Man expert in the chat. Armored Armadillo. I really need to play through the X series. I don't remember this bonus stage at all, funny enough. Like, this part looks kind of familiar. And again, it does get to a point where the bonus stages sort of like blend together. It's Giant George's brother, Giant George Jr. Funny because he's not a big guy or a little guy anymore. Big guy. Giant George, big guy pants okay. George Sr. Yikes. Yep. That's funny. I like that. Like the attention to detail. Yo. Hold on, I'll read that in a minute. Boom, boom. From X1. Interesting. Same crash, same. I'm gonna go. Fuck, dude. You know what that means. You know what that means. Oh, that's death? Fuck. Get out of the way. Let's just get out of the way. Mega Man is getting a new game next year. That is also the name of the season. I think not. Yeah. Great scene from Incredibles. All right, let's find those 2 crates. Game's lucky I like this kind of level. No, I don't think it would have been 2. Crash. I'm surprised that doesn't have a hitbox. I thought that had a hitbox. I'm ready to go against you, giant George hunters. You don't even know there's a George of the jungle. Oh, fuck, dude. Extra life back. Yep. Whatever. Ugh. Checkpoint. Oh, don't wait. Hold on. I just want to make sure my own stupidity isn't getting the best of me. Yep, that was it. Those were the crates. That's some Crash 4 hidden crate stuff right there. Why weren't you getting on the crate, Crash? Now I gotta get those lives again. I think those live crates are more obvious in the... Well, I mean, I guess it's kind of a good thing that I did go back because I missed that one. I think those would have been more obvious in the Insane Trilogy. Camera is tilted up a bit more. The amount of times that I've been at 42 lives. I'm actually genuinely curious how I'm going to go about Cold Hard Crash when I get to that. It's going to be pretty funny if I end up doing decently at it. Come. You're good. Get it. Go. Bobby, what did I tell you about messing with those marsupials in Australia? Oh, why I oughta. Yoink. Yoinky sploink. Yoinky sploinkity. Ah, get out of here. Oh, whatever. Go. Go, go, Crash Bandicoot. Alright. Fuck ya, bridge. Actually, don't do that. That'd probably hurt. Alright. Now, to look forward to the next thing where I'm missing crates. Yoink. At least I'm pretty good at getting some more lives. Pretty good live distribution. Okay. Music doesn't have to go so hard, but it does. I'm so glad it does. All right, George Senior, get us out of here. As much as I do love these like types of levels, I think I absolutely despise how they do it on GBA. Even though it's the exact same, it's just really difficult. 58. That's a gem right there. Oh yeah, got the gem. Yeah, I mean, if anything, his son was in danger too because he was chasing us. So, like, you know, like, he can't be mad at me when he's the threat. Like, you know, you can't do that. You can't switch it up. It's not parenting, bro. The Baminator. I knew we couldn't trust George. He promised too many things. He was too curious. Fuck you, don't fuck you. I was doing so good. People were questioning how I was doing so good. I was gonna go down in history. I wasn't actually. Always those two. It's always those two. I like that there's a popping sound in this song that just reminds me of, like, Spiral Mouth. Yo, his foot touched it, it graced it. Not up in history. Because I guess history goes because history's backwards. I don't know. That's a good question. But that would be my guess. Because you're looking back on things. And down is the opposite of. Oh, okay, yeah. I'm making the same mistake that I was doing in Insane Trilogy. I see it. I see the mistake.
What was that? What was that? How was that even possible? How was the hitbox nowhere near any of that? Like, come on. You were right on the boxes. You did it.
There you go.
Like the crates, they were right there. Yeah.
Jesus, take the wheel. Or in this case, the reins of the polar bear that I had to sacrifice. Don't bark at me. I'm Hardy. God. His voice is like so specific. Like, I had to think again. Because like I can hear it. He has like let me get up a quote real quick. I'll try it for you. I will attempt. It's not gonna be good. I can do Bush. McFly!
You are more than halfway there. But I'm
Biff.
sure you've noticed that things are getting harder. The last 10 crystals will be the hardest to gather. And my our enemies will be sending their strongest forces to fortune. I'll contact you again when you have completed the next one.
Thank you.
Okay, hold on. This is let me hold on. Our voices are so similar, you see. Be careful what you wish for. I need to listen to a clip real quick because I don't think I'm gonna get the voice inflection right. No, I need the here. This is the one that I'm looking for. God, dude, it's because his voice cracks. So like, I don't think I can actually.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
Like, I can't really. He's got that like, it's like it's a northern accent. It's sort of like a Boston kind of. It's like a Jersey. Doc,
Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean, Doc?
But like my voice registry is so low, so it's not gonna match at all. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Tiny tiger time. Thank you. Maybe one day I'll be a voice actor. I don't know. It's actually funny because like me, Dylan, and Frank were just having a chat the other day talking about oh wait, I didn't save it till you about like fake laughing, and it's just like such a hard thing to get down, and like I just instantly did it because it's just like, you know, there's a difference between that's funny to between you know, you just gotta really exaggerate it. That's down. I wonder if it makes people paranoid that I can fake laugh like that. Tell a joke. I'm just up here cracking. Really? It's not that funny. Think twice about your jokes, guys. Is that a fake laugh? My favorite part about this song is that it sounds like it comes from the Rugrats because the composer does Rugrats music. Yoing. I like how they were gonna have this guy as a part of Crash 1, but they ran out of memory. What is real? What is it? I need a red flashing panel now. The one that he just jumped on. Dear God, please look. If you bring Tiny back, right? He has to have the deep tone voice, right? We can't do the "Oh, Crash, you left me out of your game. That wasn't very nice of you." Like you can't bring that Tiny back. I will not accept it. He has to be a deep voiced tiger. I just think it makes it much better. I get the joke, but at the same time, I don't. Oh, that's gonna fall. Why would you do that? What was that RNG? Oh my God, I could have died. It's sort of like a play on Mike Tyson's voice, I'm sure, but I think what they were trying to hint at in that joke was that the mojo affected him so much that he became like less buff, and because of that, he still maintained like a buff stature, but because his name is Tiny, they thought it would be funny if his voice was more like a Mike Tyson kind of thing, because it's just a joke that he looks built and tough, but the voice would be like Pipsqueak almost, even though that's not Pipsqueak at all. Yeah, sort of like a steroid kind of steroid build. I mean, I don't like Titans or Mutant that much, but I will commend them because some of the writing is actually pretty decent. Like, it's a stupid joke, but one of my favorite jokes from it is the part with Uka Uka, where he's like, "Yes, kill Crash Bandicoot.
kill him forever.
And then, like, you know, it just, like, pauses. And he just looks at the camera. Like, I don't know. Some of the writing is stupid, but I love it. I'm gonna be honest, right? I do want to keep playing this, but I think I might split the stream in 2 parts. So tomorrow we'll be back at this, I'm sure. We'll be back at Crash Bandicoot. Cortex Strikes Back. Because I'm back, baby. Somewhere that Tiny and Titans was meant to be another character, but they stuck it with being Tiny. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, because I mean, that game has a lot of scrapped concepts anyway. None that I can really name off the top of my head, but if anything, I like the Titans DS version, because Titans DS, believe it or not, is like very respectful of the original Crash Bandicoot game. Not saying that Titans and Mutant weren't respectful of the originals, but it's like the closest to the original Crash Bandicoot games in terms of um how they handle certain things. Like, the title screen literally has Crash dodging the Crash Bandicoot logo coming in. Yeah, he does sound worse. His boss fight is a lot worse too, even though he didn't really have a boss fight, but it was a lot worse um on DS. That's like the only part of the DS thing that I don't like, his boss fight specifically. But outside of that, I think DS Titans is just really impressive for it being a 3D platformer on DS within itself. And then it has like the Sonic Adventure 2 approach, where you can play as Nina in certain sections too, which I thought was interesting. It's a shame that it didn't really get a true sequel, because it kind of leaves off on a cliffhanger. And Mind Over Mutant DS is like a 2D platformer and has nothing to do with the ending of Titans DS, which kind of sucks. Wonder why Tiny wasn't in tag team. They probably just ran out of characters to put in, or were working on a limited budget, because I think, and I'm sure Fez probably brought this up when we were talking about it, but before tag team was created, they were working on Hit and Run 2, and then they had the shift to tag team. I'm pretty certain that's how it went. So they just did what they could, and I guess they just thought that um Baby Tiny wasn't really worth putting in. I don't know. It is weird, because that game's development cycle, a lot of the games during that Radical Entertainment era was unfortunately very mismanaged. Um, it sucks. But I mean, there's a lot of histories to development of it, which makes it interesting. It's interesting to see the different things, and I think it's called what is that place hold on. There's a website that has like a bunch of Crash Bandicoot stuff archived, and a bunch of canceled stuff. Um, it's called Crash Mania, crashmania.net. You can go to the game section and you can find a list of all the games, and then you can go to a list of unreleased games, and they just have everything archived from them as much as they possibly can. Even more interesting knowing that there was a tag team for the Nintendo DS that got canceled. Um, and all we have left over from it are just the character models, um, some screenshots of the hub areas, and some layouts of the courses. And I guess this just got completely wiped because yeah, the DS wasn't powerful enough for it. Which is unfortunate, because I think Crash Tag Team Racing on DS would have been interesting, because it would have been the outlier, considering it wouldn't have been a direct port like the PSP version was. But there's a lot of cool information on there. Some developer interviews, some information updated, such as like stuff for the Crash Team Racing 2010 game that recently got a lot of stuff dumped, not dumped, but like a lot of stuff revealed for it. Um, which, funny enough, got retooled into another racing game, DreamWorks Superstar Karts, which is interesting. But yeah, um, yeah. CG did like an entire video talking about it. I think he got one of the guys that was working on it to do like an interview. I could be wrong. I don't remember that one too much because I didn't really look too much into it. Um, doo, 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 doo. Uh, all right, so I'm probably gonna end it here. Thank you for hanging out, guys. It was a lot of fun. Very fun stream. Uh, I'll be streaming around the same time that I did today, tomorrow. Continue more of this. Um, appreciate it. Glad you had fun. It was nice seeing you here. And yeah, all right. Take care, guys. I hope you have a good one. And